stating that we don't accept the 9/11 Commission's report. That is what the Tea Party originally was.
Who's subverted it?
Well, it's run by them. When they came here, the only people that they were supporting were Republican candidates. So you understand that it went from a third-party grassroots, changed the system, to the Republican Party.
But has it been taken over by the Republicans, or are they trying to take over the Republicans?
Is who trying to take over?
The Tea Party.
The Tea Party trying to take over the Republicans? You're talking about...
Well, they're backing various candidates who are running as outsiders against Republican establishment candidates. So it doesn't look to me like the Republicans are taking over the Tea Party. If anything, trying to do the other way around.
Well, I think what you're saying is that they're trying to change an absolute corrupt system from within, which you cannot do. When you have such powerful corporations and such a powerful government that controls these parties, you cannot change it from within. You must change it from without.
But are you saying that corporations now control the Tea Party?
Well, is CNN a corporation?
But is CNN controlling the Tea Party?
Why were there 5 massive tour buses? Who's paying for this? It's not a grassroots organization anymore. If it were, I would be coming out. We'd have stuff that looks like this. You see how much money we have to put this on?
Sure.
We are sitting here trying to tell people what is the truth. I don't care what your party affiliation is. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what anything is except the truth. The truth is that the Tea Party has been completely subverted. And then
by who?
the media. If the media would not cover the Tea Party when it was a grassroots organization, why is it covering it now when it's a Republican organization?
It's a story.
It's a what?
It's a story.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the media does.
That's very true.
It's
very
a story.
true. Very true. Which is
and
why
they're having an influence, so the media follows that.
They're not having a good influence.
I mean, let's be serious. We're not saying that CNN's putting money into the Tea Party, are we?
Well, how much do you think it costs to run 5 gigantic tour buses? This was like a rock concert, a complete sound system.
So where do you think the money's coming from?
Well, if CNN is, I asked that question actually. I can show you the video where we asked everybody at the Tea Party Express where the money was coming from. I never got an answer. All I got was ignored. My group was pretty much spit upon. The Tea Party leaders actually went out into the crowd and asked their people to take their flags, their patriotic flags, and hold them up in front of my banner, which was a 9/11 Truth banner, which is how this whole thing got started, with grassroots organizations like mine, so that the cameras and the people in the crowd couldn't see our banner.
Aren't you just upset because the Tea Party doesn't want anything to do with people who think that 9/11 was caused by the US government?
No, I don't believe that at all.
Because they've said they don't really want to have anything to do with the truth.
But you're talking about the Tea Party Express.
Well, we were at the Tea Party meeting in Delta, Colorado, and anything less bankrolled by a corporation would be hard to think of.
I'm sorry?
Anything less bankrolled by a corporation would be hard to think of. This was ordinary people. Didn't cost any money.
So you're referring to the Tea Party,
yeah.
the original sort of grassroots Tea
The
Party.
people there didn't want anything to do with the truth as well.
Well, you know, there's that. And let me just correct you here. What do you mean when you say truthers? Are you actually putting down the word truth? Because that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I'm just asking you a question.
Well, you just called me a truther. You're saying that I'm bad somehow for trying to expose the truth? Is that what it is?
didn't call you anything.
You did. You said
No, I
truthers.
didn't call you anything.
Oh, well, it's on camera. You can edit it out later.
Who do you think is at the hijack the Tea Party?
Didn't you already ask me that?
Other than CNN.
Well, like I said,
Just frankly,
I'll say it again for everybody here and for you. It started out as a grassroots movement with third-party candidates. Now it is a media circus primarily for Republican candidates. There's no other answer I can give you.
If you want to have an impact, if you want to change the way things are going, haven't you got to go mainstream to some extent? You can't always be on the edge.
what's the edge? Oh, we went back to truth again. The truth is the edge. Is that it? Is that what I'm hearing? Because I've got a list of speakers here who are constitutionally oriented, who are Second Amendment oriented. You guys lost your gun rights. I feel bad for you. Everything that we're doing at this conference, yes, I'm part of We Are Change. Yes, one of our things is to expose 9/11. And if you were to sit in here, and if you would have filmed my first speaker today, you'd have no doubt in your mind the truth about 9/11.
Where does it go from here? What happens to the Tea Party?
Well, you know, groups like mine, unfortunately, as we try to share information with people, which, you know, originally the Tea Party was so people can get together and share information. Well, they don't want anything but it's a Republican platform.
I know you don't agree with its strategy or its tactics, but do you think it will succeed in changing the Republican Party?
Changing the Republican Party? There is no changing the Republican Party.
So it can't do it?
Excuse me?
It cannot do it?
It's part of the Republican Party. There is no change involved. This esoteric campaign of hope and change, there is no legislating hope, and there is no legislating change.
So in your view, is the Tea Party is on mission impossible. It's not going to succeed. It will eventually wither?
No, I think it's being pumped very, very, very much in the media. And they're gonna say, oh, you know, Fox is gonna say it's good or bad, and this channel's gonna say it's good, bad, just like you got radio stations that say, I'm not gonna play this kind of music, and this one says that they are, even though they're owned by the same company, they're advertising to the same people. This group of people thinks that they're alternative because they listen to a different station than this group of people. Alternative is just another word for mainstream. The same companies that own all these alternative things are the mainstream companies. What is there, 6 conglomerate corporations now that just happen to own all media in the United States and around the world?
If they're not going to do it,
BBC, I'd have to think about that one. I haven't really researched the BBC, but
how would you change mainstream American politics?
I would get rid of the two-party system. Okay, let's just have a constitutional lesson. How about it? You know, states are essentially individual countries. They have sovereign rights. When the Constitution was written, it was not written to give us rights. It was the biggest mistake anybody can think is that the Constitution gives us rights. We have God-given rights, period. That is the definition of common law. When the federal government was established and the Constitution was established, it was to keep the powers of the federal government in check. Here is what you can do, here's what you cannot do. You cannot do anything that we aren't telling you in this document. And of course now it's been amended all to
No, I understand that's the states' rights case.
Okay,
I understand that.
so we have a two-party system in a republic. Well, wait a minute, we're a democracy. If you look up the word democracy and really study it, it's a communist term. It's majority rule, whereas republic, what does a republic mean? It means that me, no matter how strange you think my views might be, I get represented in that government. The minority of one is the whole concept of a republic.
See, what slightly puzzles me is that I've heard Tea Party people say exactly what you've just said.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why you're not together.
Well, together is kind of a funny thing. We used to be the Tea Party. Now I don't support the Tea Party because it's been taken over. And specifically, have you actually looked into the Tea Party Express? I have to ask you that.
Yeah, we hope to join it.
You hope to join a campaign. Well, I would very much like you, or I'd like to send you a video that we made that it is exactly what I just told you. It shows where the Tea Party members went to the police that were standing there and asked them to remove us with our sign, even though everybody was holding their signs. They asked us to remove, the police to remove the grounds. Now, when the police came over, they were constitutional, and we praised them for that. They said, the Tea Party's asking you to move, but this is public ground, and you have a right to free speech. Again, a republic. We're in a republic and a constitutional republic. We have free speech. We stayed our ground. They went out into the crowd then, had their members who are supposed to be there supporting the Constitution and free speech cover up our banners with theirs.
Don't you, I mean, I remember as a student, the various factions of the left used to hate each other more than they hated the right. And they spent all the time fighting each other.
But see,
aren't you in danger of doing the same?
Listen, you're talking about, you're promoting what there's a man named Alex Jones. Are you familiar with him? The very famous radio show host.
Oh, I do, sorry.
Okay. He coined the phrase left-right paradigm. Okay, you're either left or you're right. It's as if you can't be some other direction.
That wasn't the point of mine. My point of the question was not about left and right, it was about factionalism. That if you have people who are broadly of the same view, not exactly, but broadly of the same view, if they don't stick together and end up exaggerating their differences, they never achieve anything. That was the point of my question.
If you look around, you will see that we have, well, actually they're gone by now, but we had the Constitution Party represented, we have the Libertarian Party represented, we had 4 constitutional candidates that actually came out and participated in our little shindig here. We have a body of organizations that we are trying to bring together, go in that room, and share the information that each one of us has. We Are Change is putting this on. I'm putting this on out of pocket. I'm not making a profit for this.
Final question. Where will you be in 5 years' time?
If I continue down this road, I'm afraid, I really wanted you guys to interview Walter Burien. If I continue down the road I'm on, I'll probably end up like him or Byron Dale. You want to know what happens to people who try to expose the true nature of this government? Those are the people you need to talk to. His kids.
Tell me where you will be.
I don't know. If I continue
are you winning the argument or are you losing?
Am I winning the argument? Again, you're going into something that doesn't really make sense because there's either fact or there's belief.
If you think the movement, is gaining support or not?
Well, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Since January, here's an answer to your question. Since January, when we started We Are Change, officially an actual real club in Salt Lake City, in Utah, in this little area here. We started out with just a few members. We're up to 100 members right now, and after this event, because it's gotten so much buzz, I'm going on the radio tomorrow for 2 hours with someone who does support us that didn't even know we were here. I expect to get another, I don't know, however many.
So you're on the move.
So we are on the move. We Are Change, listen, We Are Change has 220 outlets in every major city, in Europe, in Asia. We're all over the place. Yes, we are gaining ground.
That's all I wanted to find out.
Yes, and one more thing. What we do, I mean, if you divided us up and you compared us to say a military structure, okay, we get out there, we ask questions, we go to politicians, we go to the Capitol building, and we deliver evidence of, peer-reviewed scientific evidence of explosives found in the World Trade Center dust. We deliver it. We ask that our politicians, who are supposedly representatives, but obviously are not, to hand that over to a federal judge. We tell them that if they do not, they are guilty of U.S. Code referring to misprision and treason. In other words, if they don't deliver that to a judge, they are guilty of withholding evidence. And of all the governments in the United States, we actually went to Washington, D.C. and walked around the senatorial hall, handed them to them, and they ran away from us. They didn't want to touch it because it's evidence, and they know that if they don't turn it in, they're breaking the law. But none of them have turned it in. That's what we do.
Thank you.